Hello and welcome to the 12 Days of Education, Day 8 as we hit the home stretch. Look at that total, 70 donations totaling $10,075 collected for the College Advising Corps. Let's break down what this means for our local community and the College Advising Corps. Before we welcome in our great guests, we have Matt Queen, the College Advisor at Moorhead High School, and Moorhead High School student Harry Wilson to join us here this beautiful Saturday as we look to raise funds for the College Advising Corps. You can help us. Text EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. Let's take a look at what the College Advising Corps is. It helps low-income, first-generation, and underrepresented students apply to and enroll in college by placing recent UNC Chapel Hill graduates as college advisors in selected public high schools throughout the state. Advisors help students apply for college admission as well as scholarships and financial aid. We heard from Lindsay Holloway earlier this week, a college advisor in our school system, about just how it impacts her. And she afterwards, she emailed and just was so thankful to the community because she gets an opportunity through this program to do something that she loves. And she's thankful for the community support and your community funding. As mentioned, $10,075 raised, an $8,000 match as well from St. Thomas Episcopal in Reidsville for this program, because we have seen since 2008 the impact that it does have locally as a best match and best fit advisor program. It helps students identify and apply to post-secondary programs that will best serve them both academically and socially. And as we've seen and talked about throughout the 12 days of education, 74% of core students who enrolled in college returned for their second year, exceeding the national average of 69% for low-income students in 2016. 74% of core students also persisted through their second year of college. Let's take a look at the local impact before welcoming in our guest. This local impact, man, it really tells the story of why this is important to our community. Through the Advising Corps, since 2014, more than 2,000 Rockingham County students report submitting at least one college application. And seniors awarded more than $30 million in scholarships as well since 2013 through the College Advising Corps. Last school year, college advisors reached 90% of all Rockingham County seniors. 90%. 74% of seniors reported submitting at least one application to college, with a total of 2,198 applications submitted, with scholarship dollars reported at $12,312,687. You can feel the impact of the College Advising Corps. And we can feel the impact of the 12 Days of Education as we are celebrating not only education, but giving back to our community supporting us. Today, we are giving away, at the end of the show, a free oil change to M&M Tire and Auto in Madison. So stay tuned for that drawing. If you donate by texting EDUCATE to 24365, you are entered into every single drawing of the 12 Days of Education. The gift that keeps on giving will put your name back in the pot, even if you win today. And you don't have to be a donor to participate in our giveaway. All you have to do to enter the drawing is email our great director, Jenny, by emailing jenny@helprockinghamstudents.org. Let's welcome in our great guests. We have Harry Wilson, a student at Moorhead High School, and Matt Queen, who is the college advisor at Moorhead High School. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. Glad to have you guys on. Matt, how you doing today?
Doing well, Joe. Good to be here.
Well, we'll start with you, Matt, as your experience as a College Advisor Corps, through the College Advisor Corps program. Tell us how you got started here in Rockingham County and some of the impact that this Corps has had on you.
Absolutely. So I graduated from UNC Chapel Hill in 2019, and so this is my first job out of college. I'm in my second year as an advisor at Moorhead High School. And my interest in participating in the program actually stemmed from my own high school experience. I grew up in Randolph County, went to Asheboro High School, and I had my own college advisor. And he had a profound impact on my life. He was a phenomenal mentor. He was a role model, and he was one of the big reasons why I ended up attending UNC Chapel Hill. Oddly enough, his name is Michael Dyson. So he ended up working at College Advising Corps as an assistant director for a number of years. We stayed in contact while I was in college. And I ended up, deciding one of the things that I wanted to do immediately after graduating was serve a community much like mine. And so since then, I was placed in Rockingham County. I'd never really heard of Eden, despite growing up in the Piedmont, and found myself really becoming a part of the community. I, you mentioned the numbers, but I think there's something that goes a little bit beyond that. I've found a niche at Moorhead in the athletics department through coaching girls soccer and Moorhead's cross country team, and I've also in addition to the technical advising components, I like to be present to build relationships with students and not just seniors. Harry here is one of my cross country runners, and he's actually a ninth grader. And we've had a lot of great conversations about his future and similar conversations with other students who are not quite in the 11th and 12th grade. So I think the biggest highlight for me, and this is probably true for a lot of advisors, is building relationships with students and knowing that the numbers are great. College Advising Corps is a phenomenal program, but we're not just putting out widgets. At the end of the day, we're dealing with human lives. We're dealing with members of our community. And the best way to have an impact on someone's life is to actually have a relationship with that person. So I just feel really lucky to be a part of the same program that had a great impact on my life and sort of give back and do the same.
It's almost, you have to have that relationship and trust in order to be able to give the advice. It's not just filling out those forms, the FAFSA forms and all the applications. It's actually having a trust with that student, understanding that you have their best interest at heart when working with them. And you have to build that from the beginning, as you have mentioned with Harry. Harry, how much have you thought about college moving forward as a freshman at Eden, and how much important is it to build a relationship with your coach, Matt Queen, and as well as an advisor?
Well, I've thought about college a lot, and that's in part to the College Advising Corps helping to create a culture of applying to and going to college at Moorhead.
Definitely. And with the building and the trust, Matt, you continue to see those relationships develop. How have you felt about being able to help kids in this experience here locally and about the Eden community and the kids here?
Joe, I want to piggyback off something you said earlier. When you're starting to ask students, hey, what's your social security number? We need to put it in the FAFSA. You better have a pretty good relationship with them and their family before they're going to kind of trust you to say, no, this is going to the Department of Education. This is not being used in a nefarious way. So I think it is really important before you start filling out the forms, before you start doing your residency determination through the state of North Carolina, things like that, you have that relationship. And so to me, it's meant it's just meant a great deal, especially I think to answer your question best. I've kept up with a handful of the seniors from last year, kind of text them here and there, ask how they're doing, and especially given the pandemic's impact on their post-secondary plans, it's just been really detrimental. So just being able to maybe run into somebody while I'm at Planet Fitness in Eden or
Looks like we lost Matt there in his connection. Hopefully he'll reconnect here in just a minute. Want to thank everybody here. Day 8 of the 12 days of education. It looks like we have Matt back here. The day 8, we're giving away a great prize, a M&M Tire and Auto of Summerfield. We'll be giving away a free oil change here today, as you can help by texting EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. I believe we got you back now, Matt, if you want to continue your thought there.
Where'd you lose me, Joe? What was I saying?
With the Eden community and the development with a kid like Harry, and I can call him a child because I'm 35 now. I'm getting old. He's still a child, but with this advising corps, there's going to be a period in time with kids that are in high school for 4 years. They're going to start thinking about it at Harry's age. And by the time they get to his senior, they might change their ideas 655 times. So it's important to have the support of the community on this advising corps, because if you're continuously thinking about what's next, you need somebody there to help you, especially in the most important place where they're doing it, which is at their high school.
Right. And I've also tried to make a point to get parents involved as well. I mean, I have an impact at school, but I try to show my face at as many, last year's sporting events, arts, joining a church in Eden, just trying to be as present as possible so that, a parent can see my face somewhere, ask a question about college. And you're right, students are going to change their mind, not just throughout the 4 years, but also throughout their senior year. I know plenty of students who I can already bet they're going to change their mind 3 times between now and May 1st, which is when the enrollment deposits are due. So I think just being known as a resource, that's something that advisors in this county especially have done a really, really good job at doing. We show up. I think 3 of the 4 advisors are coaches, and we make sure that we're present not only like every day at school, but after school at events in the community, and just becoming a part of Rockingham County as much as possible.
How important is it for you guys to continue evolving what the Corps does here locally?
Continue evolving?
Yeah, how important is it for you guys to continue evolving your offerings? Like, I believe you guys will be helping 8th graders this year as you continue to help our community.
Right. I think it's incredibly important, especially given how quickly things change on the ground. I mean, this year, who could have predicted that this is how the school year would have gone? I've already had a Zoom call with 8th graders and their parents, 2 separate Zoom calls, along with the advising corps. Other advisors, I believe, have done the same thing. And our staff have just kind of like obviously talked about registering for classes next year, but also introducing the idea of like, hey, if you need to come to your advisor to ask a question about a summer opportunity or a way to build your GPA or resume, we're trying to be as present as possible and innovate. Like, I not only do Zoom calls, so I have Zoom office hours, I make phone calls on a daily basis, I text students and families, just trying to be nimble this year and experiment, because we kind of threw the playbook out the window. Normally I'm going to classes and pulling students from class. This year I need to try to get the student between their first job at Bodangles and their second job at Taco Bell and their football practice. And there's just so many new variables present that we need to be scrappy, and we need to be even more present than before and available to students.
It's day 8 of the 12 days of education. I want to thank our community who has raised $10,075 towards the College Advising Corps in funding that through the support of the Rockingham County Education Foundation. That is matched $8,000 wise by St. Thomas Episcopal in Reedsville, and you can help today. Text EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365, and with your help, we'll continue to build this program and continue to provide this awesome offering for our high school seniors. And as we're finding out today through Harry and Matt, our high schoolers, period, because the development is very important at all ages. Harry, I want to talk to you about what you're working on as an Eagle Scout. I love the Eagle Scout projects, by the way. I hear you're working on a trail project in Eden.
Yes, sir. We're building a park on Bridge Street next to a historical covered bridge tower. It's going to be the newest recreational park in Eden. We're very excited about it.
How far are you along in the process, and what are some of the things that you're learning through this Eagle project and this initiative by the Rockingham County Education Foundation?
Well, we're very far into the park. I'm learning that it's really important to get out into the community and receive that help from people with building picnic tables and benches, and learning to do the landscaping in the park and build a trail, and learning about the history of the area. It's really great process.
Matt, one thing that brings up, thinking about the recreation side of things, and there's so many different ways of furthering education after high school. Are these some of the things that you're thinking about too as an advisor in teaching the students of Moorhead in what could be next for them? It doesn't have to be 100% traditional, I'm going to school for economics. It could be I'm going to school for recreation. I'm going to school for all kinds of different things. I mean, especially in today's day and age, as technology evolves and recreational offerings evolve, there's so many different ways that you can continue your education.
That's exactly right. And we're in no way pushing students into one cookie cutter idea of what their post-secondary education looks like. I had a conversation with a student the other day about doing an AmeriCorps program between undergrad or between high school and college. Conversations every day with students about maybe pursuing a technical degree and then building on credentials to have a more immediate income, because that's best for their family and their learning style. And I'm always very candid with students. Hey, if you want to go immediately into the military, there are options. Number one, to further your education immediately through the National Guard, or number two, doing it through the GI Bill later. So there's a number of opportunities that I encourage students to pursue, and it's always a case-by-case basis. It's not something you can, like I said, it's not a cookie-cutter idea of what post-secondary education is. And there are some students who want to go into recreation management and things like that. And Harry knows this, but I'm also an Eagle Scout as well. So really appreciate the work he's doing in Eden.
Let's welcome in our executive director, Jenny Edwards. Jenny, I know you love recreation.
I do. I am super excited about the project that Harry is working on. He is killing it out there next to the Dan River. Outdoor recreation, $887 billion a year spent in the United States directly on outdoor recreation.
Wow.
Yeah. And what Harry is doing for himself and for the fellow scouts and the community members that he's working with is he's giving those folks really on the ground, close experience on what it's like to build a trail, what it's like to be involved in outdoor recreation. And you've got to have that background in order to access those jobs.
And I think we live in a world, as we enter this virtual world 2021, I don't think much is going to change. We're also seeing a development in career advancement and career where I can go, if Joe wants to be a fisherman and he wants to be a broadcaster, he can do both of those things. If it's technology wise too, there's many different avenues you can take.
Oh, you're so right, Joe. That is a great point. And there's a lot of advantage to diversifying your income base for sure. Gone are the days where you worked for one company for 30 years and you graduated and received a gold watch. These are different times, and healthy ecosystems are diverse, and healthy income streams also can be diverse.
And Matt, how are you seeing that as an advisor in seeing kids also are developing and wanting to do multiple things instead of just one thing?
Right. I think the students today just are so profound because you're right. They don't think on this linear plane of I'm going to work at this company for 30 years and then retire and go to the beach. I love the beach, but I do think that they're trying to rewrite the playbook according to what they think makes them the most fulfilled. So they're not thinking of doing one thing, they're thinking of doing 3 or 4 things. And I encourage that because I think it's a really great way to be able to innovate, much like we're innovating now, and to be able to develop different skill sets and learn how to learn and learn how they learn best. So I have plenty of students who want to, for their day job, be a teacher, but they're really interested in zoology, and maybe they could work on a part-time basis at a zoo or a museum. That's one student in particular I have right now. So they're not thinking, like I said, in a linear way. They have different interests, and they're interested in pursuing these interests. And I think that's one of the big advantages of going to college and furthering your education, because you get to sample so many different things.
Let's give our seniors the advisement that they need to reach their goals. You can help us. Text EDUCATE to 24365 to donate today. That's EDUCATE to 24365. And let's bring in on this beautiful Saturday the Golden Teapot. I am ready for the Golden Teapot. Let's give away this oil change from M&M Tire and Auto in Summerfield. Man, the giveaways, Jenny, have been unbelievable, and they continue. We got some big ones coming up. We've got the pendant that's worth $900 from Arthur's Jewelry in Reedsville. And if you're looking to help out at home, get a nice Christmas present, Arthur's Jewelry is the place to go. Hello. In fact, I'll be right back. I gotta go. And also, we got the great 1-week stay oceanfront Holt condo on Caswell Beach in Oak Island. That's valued at $1,500. We'll be giving that away on the 12th day of education. A $100 gift card coming up. We're going to be giving away from Biscuitville as well, and so many other great prizes. Jenny, let's go to the Golden Teapot.
All right, that sounds like a plan. I want to note that we are entering Jeff Johnson in. You will love this, Joe. Jeff Johnson donated, bringing the heat for Team Reedsville.
Yes.
All right. So this is what Joe's talking about. This is the Golden Teapot. And everyone who has made a donation is in this golden teapot. And like Joe said, you don't have to make a donation in order to get in the teapot. We'll put you in without it. Just send me an email. We'll get you in there. But we hope you will, because the College Advising Corps is literally changing lives and opening up opportunities for our young folks in Rockingham County. Okay, I think I've drawn this out long enough. Let's see who's winning the oil change at M&M Tire and Auto. It's Valencia Abbott. All right.
Awesome. And Valencia will be on the show coming up later during the 12 Days of Education as well.
That's
and
right.
She's a great leader in our community in bringing out some things that need to be shown and just doing some fantastic research about the history of our community and some of the fighters of our community. So I'm glad to see Valencia winning. And there's no better place than M&M Tire and Auto. I have a friend that I used to work with. His name's Carl. His tire could be low. He's going to M&M. He needs the oil change. He's going to M&M. I mean, if he looked at his windshield and saw a little crack, he'd probably go to M&M even if they couldn't help him. That's just how great M&M Tire is in Summerfield. So want to thank them for being part of the 12 Days of Education. I also want to thank Harry Wilson for joining us in talking from the student perspective, and Matt Queen, a college advisor at Moorhead High School, for joining us here today on the 12 Days of Education. $10,075 raised plus an $8,000 match from St. Thomas Episcopal. We're close to being able to fund this program, the College Advising Corps, fully, and it deserves full support from our community, and we're getting it and we're seeing it. It's been so wonderful during these 12 Days of Education. We look forward to talking to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here on the Rockingham County Education Foundation page. Have a great weekend, everybody, and let's advise. Let's fund the advisement program. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.